I got the Cybertruck and I'm about to close the tonneau cover. Oh wait, there isn't a tonneau cover. Well, we have the rear-wheel drive today, the unicorn. Does it really exist? Well, we have one right here and we're gonna talk all about it. So like I mentioned, this is the rear-wheel drive, which means that there's actually only one motor in the rear. And what's interesting about this is Tesla actually offered this option just for a very, very short period and ended it in September 2025. So there's actually not a whole lot. And this is actually the first one we encountered in real life, other than seeing it in forums and all the other things. We're actually wrapping this, so we're actually finishing it up and so on. But we wanted to show you some of the differences. You know, why is it cheaper? Is it better? I mean, and just to show you that it exists, basically. So I have a screen recording here, and I just want to show you that currently your only options on the actual website is going to be two. It's going to be an all-wheel drive, which is actually a dual motor. You get two motors, front and back, and then you get a Cyber Beast, which is about a lot more expensive. So if you look at it in a finance standpoint or cash standpoint, without the federal tax credit, because maybe when this video is out or when you're watching this, that federal tax credit would have been expired, right? Because this is supposed to expire September 30th, right? So the all-wheel drive price point right now is $79,990, and the Cyber Beast is $114,990. When we purchased ours was about $100K, right around $110 after taxes. So this does not include taxes, and you'll have to add it based on the state that you're in. So the third option is the rear wheel drive. This is hard to say, but I actually talked to Tesla today. I was asking, hey, can I still get the rear wheel drive? And I actually talked to the owner of this car and I asked him, which you're gonna hear from him in a little bit in an interview, but I asked them, hey, can I get it still? And they said, you know what? We don't make it anymore, but if it's in inventory, we can sell it to you. So I said, hey, I'm in Chattanooga, can I buy it? There was actually one in Chattanooga, so if you're watching this video, you can pick it up for $62,000 if it's before September 30th, and if it's after that, it'll be around $69,000, which that means you can't get the federal tax credit. So they told me that they actually have two, and I'll show you, I'll prove it to you right here. So this is actually inventory right here with VIN number 80,477. And here's what's really cool. It has a higher range, 354, right? 7,500 pound towing capacity, which is a lot less than the dual motor or the Cyber Beast, which is around 11,000. And the 0 to 60 is much slower at 6.2 seconds, which makes sense because there's only one motor versus two. And you also don't have air suspension. But you can see right here, it's $62,490 with the tax credit, and you get 18 standard wheels. And we'll show you too once we kind of talk about some of the differences. And you do get a tow package. And honestly, if you just want a bare bones, this is a really good deal. I was talking to the owner, Tim, and he was absolutely stoked about this car. I mean, he loves it. So, I mean, I think it really depends. If you're the right person to buy this car, you don't really care about all the crazy stuff, then this might be for you. So, let's dig right into this car. So first of all, everything that you see right here, the panels and all that is basically the same thing. So if you're wondering about like the front and all that stuff, it's exactly the same. So right over here, you can see that it still has this. There's nothing really different about it from my understanding. It all looks the same. Of course, it has the front opening, the buttons are the same. The lights are the same, the running lights. The giant windshield wiper is also the same. Here's where it gets interesting and different, okay? So first off, I'm gonna open this door, and you can see that it has a tactile gray right here. And look at the seats. This is a big difference right here. It's actually cloth seats. Actually, some people prefer the cloth seats, so it really depends on the person. But you do get basically almost the same thing over here with the cloth seats. What does that mean? Well, you don't get ventilation. So the newer ones, even the Model Y, you get cooling seats and heated seats. This does not have that, or the ventilation seats, like the cooling seats. So that's really the big difference. So that's about it. In the front, everything here is very, very similar. I mean, the build quality is actually quite good. I'm not really sure if this was more on the newer ones, but this feels like a different material than our Foundation series. It's a little bit more rough looking in my opinion. Is it a different kind of black too? But it looks coated a little bit differently, but I'm not entirely sure, so I can't confirm that. So don't quote me on that. Here's a little bit different on our Foundation series that we picked up. This was actually metal. This one is plastic. Still the same graffiti look, right? The Cybertruck right there, but you don't have that. You don't see it necessarily in here, but one of the other key differences is that you get way less speakers compared to the all-wheel drive. So the rear-wheel drive has a lot less. I think it has about 7 speakers on this thing. The other one, the all-wheel drive Cyberbeast, has 15 speakers, so it's going to be a pretty big difference than the two. So we also haven't talked about some of the internals, but this is an obvious one. The wheels are different. So instead of getting 20-inch wheels, the Cyber wheels, you're going to be getting the 18-inch wheels, right? These are, I forget what these are called, and this is typically road wheels, which actually helps with the range because of the road wheels. And on top of that, you actually have coil system, a coil suspension system, instead of having an air unit, right? So the original Foundation series that we had basically you can go up and down, and you had a lot of clearance. And that's a really big difference, and that's why it's also cheaper. So both sides on the back and the front is about the same. So as you go to the back, everything else is very, very similar, right? But here's the biggest difference. Again, the cloth diaper right here. But if you look at, let me actually push that seat forward, and I'll show it to you. Look at that. Do you guys see a screen there? No screen. So there is no screen on the rear-wheel drive. And I think this is one of the things that a lot of people are like, Tesla launched it. It was the cheapest option they ever launched. And then they're like, I don't know if we want it. I think a lot of people felt like for $10,000 they were getting a lot more. So maybe I think that's the reason why they dropped it. They only had it for a very little bit. They said it had a very weak demand for the $62,000 or $69,000 model with all basically the bare bones. So on the rear, everything else is the same other than the speakers. And here's the biggest comparison. Look at this button right here. So there is just one button. Normally there is this button, and there's an arrow that goes up and down that controls the tonneau cover. So this does not come with any tonneau cover. It does come with a manual cover, which is $750 in addition to that. So you can actually order that yourself if you want, but of course it's kind of like a slide. I think Rivian has something like that as well, where you could have like the tonneau-like cover in the Rivian, or you could also do a manual slat system basically, and that's kind of what it's like. I actually haven't seen it in person, but I'm assuming it just kind of slides in and you can kind of see the sliding system or the locking system right here. It's much more simpler. So here's another difference in the rear-wheel drive. You can see right here, there's no ice chest right here. There's usually a storage unit right here that covers it. And of course, there's no air system, and the air system sits right here in the bottom, which means that this car is lighter, which also helps with the range. So normally, like I said, it's around 320. This is 350. So if you're looking for road trips, that 30-mile range addition is actually a pretty big difference, especially when you have a really big car like the Cybertruck. So honestly, this is a great range addition, I think, without adding a whole lot of weight, if you don't mind the whole suspension stuff and all the other features. Also, there used to be, on the Foundation or all-wheel drive or Cyberbeast, there is an outlet right here. It has a 220 volt, 110 volt power outlets right here. It also has a different track system, which is a little bit more, it's, what is it called? It's not mullet panels, but it's like you can basically put like super customizable. You can put, we put like the utensils flag pole right here on the side, and there's still like tie downs right here. So at least this is right there. However, you can still use it. I mean, you can still figure out a way to do it, I think. But it's a little bit different. It's more just threads all across the board. And then that's pretty much it. I mean, as far as like the rear, I mean, it's the same. There's not really much different. I didn't really see any differences from any of these, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, other than that, I didn't really see much differences. But I mean, I think this is a really good choice for some people. I mean, I kind of got tempted. I mean, we did sell our Cybertruck a few months ago as we were making some room for other cars. But at the same time, I'm like, $60K, like it's really not that bad. But there it is, the $62,000 rear wheel drive right here at Test Bros. So we're actually finishing this up in this car. We're ceramic coating some of the windows. We're ceramic coating the whole color PPF right here. This is actually matte black. And then we're going to talk to the owner, Tim, and we're going to talk to him about how he was able to purchase this, what his experience was. And this is his first Tesla. He went straight into it, and he absolutely loved it. He was super stoked about the FSD, and it's just really fun seeing people like light up when they talk about their first Tesla. It kind of reminds me about us when we got our first one in 2018. So we're going to talk to him tomorrow. We're going to finish this up actually tonight, and then after that, it should be ready to go. We're going to let the ceramic coating cure overnight, and then he should be ready to pick up, and he will have a Batmobile ready for him and a rear-wheel drive. So stay tuned. The owner of the Cybertruck here, this is Tim, and he just picked up the rear-wheel drive. So how did you actually get the rear-wheel drive? Because a lot of people are kind of confused about, can you get it, can you not?
Yeah, so I basically, big Tesla fan, I went on the Tesla app, and I was looking at getting a Cybertruck. I had a Ford, and so it had a bed, and you know, for my wife and I, when we go on road trips, we like that extra space. And so I went on the website and I saw how much the Foundation series costs. I saw how much the Beast costs. This one was a little bit more affordable or at my price point. And so I went ahead and just ordered it on the app like normal. And they told me that the Nashville Tesla told me that they were going to build it, put it together, and then send it out to Tesla Chattanooga. And that's kind of how that part of the process was.
Yeah, and I know the rear-wheel drive, it's kind of hard to say that, doesn't have, you know, obviously the automatic tonneau cover, the rear screen and stuff. Do you mind? Like, do you care about all that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, so the cover would have been nice. I am going to order the soft cover, so when we go on road trips, if it rains, you know, we're good. We live in the Southeast, obviously it rains quite a bit. The screen in the back, didn't mind not having it too much because don't have any kids yet. And honestly, I when I do have kids, hopefully, you know, we would want it to be a thing where maybe technology isn't completely immersed at every corner. So I'm cool with it.
Yeah. Honestly, that's not a bad thing for me too, because like it's kind of like a cop out for me when I have the kid of like they know there's a screen, so they ask for it. Whereas if they don't have it, they won't ask for it.
Yeah. They'll be more inclined maybe to read or do something else.
That's awesome. Well, it's really cool. I actually don't mind the wheels. I know these are the 18 wheels.
Yes,
but they come with the road tires, which is a lot better than like the off-road. And you get way more range. And honestly, the 350 range sounds really good to me.
Yeah. That was also another benefit. The range has been good, you know, so far.
So this is your first Tesla that you've ever owned, and I thought it was kind of like funny because like a lot of people kind of go into like 3Y or something like that, and then go to the Cybertruck. You went straight for it. So like, how did you make the decision in terms of going into this as your first Tesla?
Yeah. So I think a lot of it had to do with like my last two vehicles were trucks, so I wanted a bed just for space. The back seat actually is like very roomy, and that's something I'm used to with the Ford F-150 Platinum. And the turn radius is pretty incredible. I think they said it has like wire steering, so that like helps out on that.
It's, and the back.
It's like way easier to park this than even my Toyota Tacoma that we still use, and significantly easier than the Ford F-150. So overall, the driving experience has been incredible. It only has one motor, this one, opposed to the Foundation. I think has two, maybe. So not as much power, but definitely more power than what I'm used to with the Ford, and I love it. I look forward to driving every day.
Sweet. So, well, congratulations. You got a Batmobile now.
Appreciate
it, man. Thank you for letting us work on your truck.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. It looks great. Test Bros, come to Chattanooga if you need it wrapped. All right.
Sweet. So let us know. Would you buy it? Do you think this is a good value? Do you think it's not worth it? Would you go with the dual motor just right away? Pay the $10K more and get all the added benefits like the suspension system? Or do you think Tesla should consider bringing this back? Maybe adding a couple more features and just trying it out. Let us know in the comments below. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments below. We'll see you later.